Next, we have Emily Wang, who will be discussing with us the effects social media has on our food choices.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily. I am 15 years old, and I just finished my second year of high school at Humberside Collegiate Institute. During school, I am in the Asian Heritage Club, the math team, and some sort of sports team, which I haven't gone to in like months. And outside of school, I am always hanging out with my friends or my parents over there. And today, I want to talk about the effect social media has on our food choices, and of course, discuss my personal strategies to combat those challenges. So this is a table of contents. I just did my little intro, and we're going to move on to influences of social media and challenges from social media, strategies for healthier eating, and practical applications, and a little wrap-up of everything. So if you want to take a look at this table over here, you can see that I've included an infographic of every single social media that I've used. So from 2020 to 2022 is around the time where I had my first phone, so I can actually start beginning collecting these data. And I've included 3 main platforms, which is TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. These are just some of the platforms that I have the most screen time on. And as you can see, for example, Instagram has a really consistent and rather high increase of food-related contents since like forever. And another example you can see is TikTok from 2020 to 2021 has a surge of increase on food challenges. And I can infer from that is during the quarantine where everyone is at home and they aren't able to meet up with one another, it's a way for them to stay connected virtually online. And by tracking these data and engagement numbers over on the last column, it's a way for me to keep track of the trends and growth over time. And here's a screenshot of Hawchae. Hawchae on TikTok has been very popular for the past few months. I've received a couple of these videos on my For You page, and this specific title, like Hawchae, has over 1 billion views on TikTok and 300 million likes. So the engagement ratings are rather high compared to everything else. And the endorsement of, the enticement of popularity and the endorsement of certain content creators can actually motivate us to change how we choose to eat and what we choose to eat. So for example, Hawchae has only contains fruits and a lot of soda and pop, so that's really bad for you. You definitely shouldn't eat this every day. Maybe you can try this once a month as a light snack. And when you're on the internet, you kind of expect an incredible amount of disinformation and misinformation, so it's best to keep track of how you get your sources and what your sources can actually mean. So for example, one of the examples is cutting back on carbs to lose weight. That is simply not true because then it would be way too easy for us to lose weight. So certain foods like cake and cookies and muffins contain not as much vitamins compared to everything else, not just vitamins, minerals, and fiber. And cutting back on those certain sweet foods is actually a good way to lose your weight if you are looking forward to that. And certain complex food like whole wheat bread, beans, and fruits contain a lot of complex carbs, which are actually great for your health and your gut health. And the second one is certain foods that are, quote, no fat or low fat. You can eat as much as you want without gaining weight. These foods are actually called wonder foods because they contain just as much calories as the original, like the non-no fat ones. So for example, like a granola bar, you will see that actually contains way more sugar, starch, and salt in comparison to the regular versions. So these are actually just some of the common myths, and these myths require a lot of answers. So these are 2 questions I have your answers to. So number 1 is, what does your body really need? So you need 5 main essential nutrients for your body. So it's vitamins, minerals, fiber, and I forgot the last 2. And pretty much you need to consistently eat these at least 4 times per day out of your entire meal, which I'll talk about later. And you also need to cut back on your processed foods like your junk food, fast food and certain types of processed food that comes from not a really good place. So these misleading examples shows how complicated navigating the internet is, especially if you aren't careful with your resources. So just keep in mind, not everything you see on the internet is completely true. You have to be mindful of what articles you read and certain organizations you should trust. So credible sources. Like I was saying, when you look at an article, you have to ask yourself these questions. Do they have any grammar mistakes? Do they contain spelling mistakes? Or do they just have a really bad structural format? So when you look at an article first time and forever, is there paragraphs in a straight line in a well-organized manner? If they are missing periods and comma and have basic spelling errors, I don't think you can trust them anymore because that's a major red flag. Also, if they contain biased opinions, old news, or relevancy, that's also another red flag to look out for because when they contain their own personal opinions, that is not a good matter to add on to information-based articles. And if they're irrelevant, then what are you reading? It's not even related to what you searched up. So as you can see, engaging mindfully on social media allows us to explore healthier options and contribute positively to our food culture. So these are organizations that I trust that I actually use to make this presentation. So we have Dietitian of Canada, Heart and Stroke of Canada, Food Allergy Canada, Health Canada, Canadian Nutrition Society, and ACPN. And over here is a circle graph of all the foods that we should be eating. I'm pretty sure this was said in the last presentation, but this is what an ideal balanced diet should look like. So 40% should be your fruits and your vegetables, 10% should be your fats, 25 and the other 25 should be your fiber-rich carbohydrates and certain proteins. You should have a consistent workout plan, but that doesn't mean you have to exercise every day for a whole week. Make sure to give a break for your muscles and your bones because they rip easily. They can have arthritis. You might have joint tears, muscle pain, a lot of other stuff. You should also try to take a quiz on what kind of body type you are and see how you should format your diet depending on your body type. So for example, if you're an ectomorph, someone who is genetically more skinny and more long, you can handle more carbs in comparison to endomorphs, someone who is genetically more thick and wide. You should also keep in mind that no matter what kind of body type you are, you should have a consistent amount of proteins. Proteins are great for you and everyone should be having consistent amount. But also keep in mind that everybody works different, everybody have their own personal stories. So be mindful on the internet or in person if someone asks for advice or certain things that they don't know about and you know the answers to it, answer them appropriately and respectfully because this is what helps shape the narrative around a positive food community. And finally, I encourage each and one of you to be mindful of the content you consume and seek credible nutrition advice and contribute to positive feedback loop in our food culture. I believe everyone can make a difference no matter your age, your culture, or race. We can use social media as a way to promote and inspire the younger people, and I believe that we can shape a better community for the future. Thank you.
Well done, Emily. Excellent presentation. There's a lot of information there. I don't know how you can remember all of that. Well done. Yeah, well, cue cards, but yeah, it's still a lot of content. Excellent. I think your choice of topic is also very smart because we don't realize a lot of the time how much, I think, even subliminal effect, subconscious effect the social media has on us. 我想问一下，我有一个16岁的女儿，我也非常担心那个媒体的影响，social media，你们有没有什么思想啊？就是 how to avoid dangers of that. By the way, I think that was brilliant. I said, you look at the grammar, the writing, how sloppy it is, spelling mistakes. That is very, very true, actually.
我跟我夫人的建议就是时不时的要提醒一下的，然后大多数情况下，我觉得还是建议他们去不断的尝试，不断的去探索一下的。 也许经过一定的曲折或失败，也许他们才能真正的认识到这个问题的严重性或者是。
Thanks 有些人如果有一个 thyroid problem， 他们有一些水果也不能吃，对吗？
Yeah.
如果有个肝的问题，有些东西也不能吃。但是我们没有一个那说 one size fits all。对。
Yeah.
好。
Like what works for you doesn't work for everyone else because you guys are not the same.
Very true. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
On June 30th, 2024, the Association of Certified Professional Nutritionists, ACPN, in collaboration with the Canada-wide Business Association of Industry and Commerce and the Canadian National Education Society, successfully concluded the 2024 Life Cycle Wellness Management Competition. With the support of the Canadian federal government, the Community Foundations of Canada, and United Way Centride Canada and Greater Toronto, support for the competition with their extraordinary health industry expertise. In addition, the CBAIC works to connect local communities with the newest scientific innovation in health sciences in association with the National Education Society. Together, the organizations are able to provide the latest and greatest health science solutions to local families, as well as implementing education of periodic life and health science and its real-life day-to-day applications. The competition includes several age groups, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, and 13 to 8. On June 30th, 2024, the Association of Certified Professional Nutritionists, ACPN, in collaboration with the Canada-wide Business Association of Industry and Commerce and the Canadian National Education Society, successfully concluded the 2024 Life Cycle Wellness Management Competition. With the support of the Canadian federal government, the Community Foundations of Canada, and United Way Centride Canada and Greater Toronto, dozens of families from the community participated in the competition finals. We'd like to acknowledge the Member of Provincial Parliament, Mr. Billy Pang, City Councillor of Scarborough Agincourt, Mr. Nick Mantas, Deputy Mayor of Richmond Hill, Mr. Godwin Chan, and York Regional Councillor, Mr. Alan Ho, for their letters of congratulations for bringing the event to a successful conclusion. As the event began, ACPN Secretary General Ms. Carrie Way presented a commencement speech, highlighting the ACPN's Academic Commission's support for the candidates in the field of health sciences, ensuring their access to the most up-to-date information in the field. Meanwhile, the president of the Canada-wide Business Association of Industry and Commerce, CBAIC, Mr. Edward Zheng, acknowledged its support for the competition with their extraordinary health industry expertise. In addition, the CBAIC works to connect local communities with the newest scientific innovation in health sciences in association with the National Education Society. Together, the organizations are able to provide the latest and greatest health science solutions to local families, as well as implementing education of periodic life and health science and its real-life day-to-day applications. The competition includes several age groups, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, and 13 to 18.
我们这次举办这个是生命全周期的健康管理比赛，主要是针对那个儿童、青少年。因为我们认为儿童和青少年他们学习能力是蛮强的，只是可能没有发现而已。所以我们致力于连接社区、家庭和儿童和青少年。通过这个过程当中呢，我们发现他们取得了非常非常大的进步。
参加儿童全息健康比赛，我非常受感动。最小的小孩4岁，最大的10几岁，他们都对健康有深入的了解，而且他们对整个的健康的认识程度是让我非常的惊讶。那么我希望全人类都为了健康追求健康，那从儿童做起。希望今后所有的家长对孩子们从孩子抓起，从我们自身抓起，使我们全人类健康走向更好的这个未来。
这是个非常大的荣幸，当做今天的 ACPN 的 MC。我的背景主要的是教育，但是我也就是非常注意营养。我还记得 ACPN 刚开始的时候，我觉得他们的 idea 非常好。我现在能看见他们的成就非常大，他们把很多梦想可以说已经实现了。那么我也非常希望我可以再继续跟 ACPN 合作。今天很感动，今天的小孩。真的懂我们小的时候真的不能懂的事儿。其实不管就是很小很早就开始学会这些非常重要的education 的思想，但是他们学到的也是非常实用，不只是书面上的，就是他们 明明做了很多研究，有一个学生做一个叫survey， 就是他研究了很多，也就是面试了很多他的同学还有成人，他们研究了很多，所以我真的觉得今天真的是个非常大的日子，我真的觉得以后 ACPN 会有非常非常大的成就，而且我还有非常大的成功，我真的非常期待我下次有机会主持这样的活动，
得到了很好的锻炼，我一步一步的能够看到他们都在成长。
这次的演讲比赛呢，小朋友也在参与过程当中了解了更多的健康知识。它的主题是垃圾食品，那他对此也了解到平常我们吃的东西是哪些是归为健康，哪些是归为不健康。那也非常珍惜这一次的机会，让他在这个过程当中不仅得到一些健康知识，而且还锻炼了他一个上台演讲的一个自信心。然后我也非常为他感到骄傲，然后在比赛当中是以最小的一个参赛者。
这次活动对我的女儿有很大的影响，是一个非常非常好的活动，算是做科学的，但是呢平常也没有让他们去接触这专业的东西，但是通过这次活动呢，真的让他们专业的角度去研究。
So as I was researching and making the PowerPoint for this presentation, I not only learned a lot about how to make a speech, prepare a presentation, but I also learned about how to achieve a balanced diet. And to my life, it's had quite an influence, and I often find myself adding more balanced meals to my daily routine, and instead of eating just bread and cheese or plain meals, I'll have more diverse and more varieties of food in every meal.
真的非常好的活动。
And the topic today is about nutrition. I chose mindful eating because of all the distractions we have, watching TV, social media. We tend to neglect what we feed the body, and that is very important, as we all know, because it affects the mental condition. It's one of the inputs of the body. So what we feed the body affects all the organs, and I believe that we should be more mindful of what we choose to feed the body. So I'm very excited to be here and share what I've tried to do, the practices that I chose, and hopefully inspire a few people, the audience, to try it and hopefully take some value out of it.
The multitude of events occurring during the competition included enlightening discussions of care for kids and youth, putting the candidates' wellness management skills for each age group on full display. During the events, families had the opportunity to connect with subject matter experts and discuss real-world applications and the latest innovations in the field of health management. Participants covered various subjects, for example, what is junk food and why is it unhealthy? 5 food groups for kids and their nutrition, how functional nutrient lutein supports kids' vision and learning, the importance of omega-3 for child development, how to manage our daily stresses, stroke is no joke, balanced diet to stay healthy, why does eating fruit provide health benefits, how social media influences our food choices, and how to develop good eating habits in the world of cyberspace and AI. How to manage irritable bowel syndrome, the importance of sleep, mindful eating. The purpose of the Life Cycle Wellness Management Competition is to establish 3 major forces to improve health: the power of science, smart education, and wellness leadership. With these 3 powers, we will explore hollow information of health-related science, industry, and life biomarkers. Armed with this information, we can evaluate our health status in a more systematic, objective, and scientific manner, make more accurate wellness plans and decisions, and manage health more safely and effectively. Further, we can better identify nutritional needs and make better decisions regarding health, allowing people to intelligently and rationally make purchase decisions and manage their body scientifically. ACPN has been dedicated over the years in working with health professionals to create a new framework for scientific knowledge to close the gap between science, industry, global information, and the health needs of the community. The promotion of life cycle wellness management based on foods, functional nutrients, and natural health products is a core focus as part of the effort of elevating Canada's position in the global wellness management industry. With the organization of a multitude of events and training, the ACPN is leading the way into a new era of family wellness management for society. While the competition has concluded, the ACPN continues down the path of exploring life cycle wellness management, keeping up the work in the community to bridge the gap between industry and consumer. In acknowledgement of ACPN's efforts in completing federal government projects in the field and their hard hard work in the community, the Minister of International Trade, Export Promotion, Small Business and Economic Development, Honorable Mary Eng, presented ACPN with a certificate of appreciation, acknowledged ACPN's achievements, encouraged the continuation of their current efforts, thanked ACPN for creating better opportunities through leadership, partnership, and social responsibility, and invited ACPN to present at the Foundation for the Restoration of Community Services event. The ACPN hopes the event has successfully inspired all attendees to take a new perspective at life cycle wellness management and aspire to become wellness leaders for themselves, family, and thereby connecting daily life communities' wellness needs with advanced scientific innovations. This will create happier and better quality of life for global communities and lead the future.